All right, everybody, I am here with my review on Ahsoka episodes 1 and 2. And I'm happy to say that Star Wars is back in live action in top form. But that doesn't mean that the first two episodes were perfect. And I am going to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. I am a big Star Wars fanatic, especially with the live action stuff and some of the cartoon stuff. Now, I will fully admit up front that I have not seen all of the Clone Wars cartoon. Back when that show originally aired, we had DirecTV, and my DVR, while I watched all of Season 1 and 2, was partway through Season 3, and the DVR took a dump and never went back to it because they'd already started Season 4, and I was never going to be able to catch up. This was back before they had streaming services and easy ways to be able to watch those episodes, so I just gave up. And I haven't gone back to revisit that show. But I did watch all of Rebels, and for anybody who was a fan of Rebels, this is a direct sequel to Rebels. This show could be one of those shows that kind of ties everything together. The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Rebels kind of tie everything together because we already know that, Ahsoka has this huge back history with Anakin. So this could literally be the show that kind of ties everything together. It was nice to see them add some Star Wars lore into live action, like the Witches of Dathomir are in here. And we get to see some stuff that we've only seen either in cartoon form or video game form in this film. So in this show, so it was pretty cool. So it was really nice to see some of this stuff brought to life. The show, now I didn't watch this in my theater room, which I think I'm going to do for the rest of the show, because I watched this on my new TV and it has, the Dolby, the Atmos, along with the the HDR and all the really cool video that you can have, and it just made things look too soap opera-ish, too smooth. It didn't look like a film, and I want it to look like a film. And so I think I'm going to watch the rest of the series in my theater room so it looks like film, because I want that film experience. But my one big complaint, is that everything looked too clean. It did not look like your typical Star Wars thing. Now, there were some questions about the acting in this show. A lot of people wanted to know if the acting was going to be good, was it going to be bad. And Dave Filoni did direct the first episode, and the acting was the one thing that was a little interesting here. The acting was more like a cartoon than it was a live action series, and that was also a little weird. Now, I'm not really going to dock the show for that, because they do want it to kind of mesh with the animation counterparts here. We have some interesting characters that are introduced into this. Like, we have if you've watched the trailers, we have the two would appear to be Dark Jedi or Sith characters. We don't really find out anything about their backstory in the first two episodes, and so there's nothing to really tell in regards to that. But there was an interesting remark made by one of them at the end of the second episode, so I hope they kind of follow up on some of this. They lay the groundwork for what's happening here, and the basic scope of the story is that they're still looking for Ezra Bridger, and they're trying to find Thrawn. Not just the good guys, but the bad guys too. There was plenty of lightsaber work in here, and it was the fights were pretty cool. Now, I am going to talk about one thing that is very irritating, and yes, I'm going to go there. This is all about this definitely reeks of the Force is female, the comment that Kathleen Kennedy made. Because there is one complaint that I do have, and I think a lot of people are going to have in regards to this, and I haven't watched anybody else's review or seen what anybody else has had to talk about this particular show. So these are my own opinions here. So I've not seen anything else. I don't know what's being talked about. But this is a minor spoiler. So if you don't want to know about spoilers, you're going to want to log off now. One of the main characters does get a lightsaber right through her midsection in this show, and she survives. Now, this isn't the first time we've seen this happen. We saw it happen with Reva in the Obi-Wan show as well. But then you have Qui-Gon, who died. Why is that? Why do the males die when they get a lightsaber through their midsection, but the females survive? It's very inconsistent. But this show is definitely female-driven, which I don't have a huge problem with. The dynamic is going to be good because we do know Thrawn is going to be brought into the mix at some point. Hopefully Ezra Bridger is as well, but we don't know where this is leading just yet. But that is what the scope of the story is them. It's basically a direct sequel to Rebels, but we have, what was going on with Ahsoka to begin with. She showed up in The Mandalorian and everything. So she's floating around. They're tying everything together, which is good. But it was great to see Ahsoka actually do some stuff, even more so than what we saw in The Mandalorian. So it was pretty neat. I'm enjoying the show. This is definitely the most Star Wars feeling Star Wars show that they've done since Disney has picked it up and started doing stuff on Disney Plus. I still think The Force Awakens brought the feel back, and then you had The Last Jedi kind of ruined it, and then you had they did the best they could with the third film, but it still wasn't on the level of what the feel was in The Force Awakens. I do love Rogue One. That was very Star Wars as well, and even the Han Solo was a good movie as well. But as far as the TV show stuff, this is the one that has captured that Star Wars feel better than any of the others. Plays more like a cartoon than a live-action series, but still pretty freaking cool. All right, so what are your guys' thoughts on Ahsoka episodes 1 and 2? Have you seen it? What do you guys think? I would love to hear other people's thoughts on this, and we will see you on the next video.